being a billionaire, but I'm also one scandal away from losing everything.
Hey, what's up? What's going on, everybody? So you guys have now tuned into my Love and Hip Hop recap, and this is for Love and Hip Hop New York. So Yandy reveals to Juju on that beat, to Juju and Kimbella that she's not officially married, but in the eyes of God and everybody else, she walked down the aisle and she's good. She's married. I think that's why she was pushing so hard to get her name changed. And I said this in the last episode. That's why she was pushing so hard to go ahead and get her name changed. Even though, because she probably had this wall in the back of her head that she knew she didn't want to make it official. Because at the end of the day, I mean, she said to them that she doesn't want to seem like her finances is more important than her family. But at the end of the day, it kind of is. But I mean, I understand what she's saying, because she's talking about all this restitution stuff that she might have to pay back because of him. And pretty much if you're married to somebody, you would have to pay that back because you have a bank account. And he may not have a bank account. He may just have money up under his mattress or something like that. So they're going to get the bank account that they can get. You know what I mean? And he probably wasn't filing taxes, so it's not like they can take his income tax or anything. So, I mean, they could probably take the money that he's earning from this show because that's legit money. But other than that, that's probably why they have his calls and stuff. He's probably still getting paid for the calls too. I wouldn't be surprised if Yandy worked out some kind of deal with that. But as far as her like trying to make it official, she's not really like trying to do that. She's just like, that's it. Like, you know, she's happy where she is and she don't need a piece of paper. All of a sudden she don't need a piece of paper to determine her marriage. But yeah, she's the wife. At the end of the day, like, there are a lot of things that you're not going to be able to sign off on because you're not legally married to him. I mean, no matter how many years you've been with somebody, in certain places and under certain situations and circumstances, you're not going to be the one that's going to be able to make certain decisions. That's just how it goes. So Cardi B and MariahLynn, they meet up at the spa, and I think it's the one in the Bronx, because I know there's a place in the Bronx on Fordham Road that she gets her nails done that I've seen. So it might have been that spot, but I'm not really sure. But it looked real like official to be someplace on Fordham, unless it's like the other side of Fordham. But anyways, yeah, so they meet up and they just kind of like talking about what happened at Mariah Lynn's event. And Cardi B, I like the fact that she keeps it real regardless to who you are, if you're her friend or whatever. She was like, but it kind of makes you look like you're messy because you was the one that was going back and saying things. And in her confessional, she's just like, for us to all be associates again, she just needs to chill out with all that going back and forth and, you know, girl power stuff. Like, that's not a real good associate. And she mentioned the word associate. You know, a lot of times people come around here, they just met and they talking about their friends, but she pretty much kept it real because she probably don't know these girls from a hole in the wall. Like, they all met on the show. I feel like most of them on this show, like, they met on the show, but then, you know, they start to hang out. They're cast members, so, and they have to create a storyline. So I feel like they create these backstories to say that they knew each other for so long. But I feel like some of them never knew each other at all. Anyways, so yeah, they also talk about their little sisters while they were together. And Mariah Lynn, she says how sometimes she feels unappreciated. And Cardi B can totally relate to that, but they both love their sisters to death and want the best for their sisters. And I even can totally relate to that because I have a sister that I've been taking care of for like years since I was old enough to do so, since I was old enough to like work. So that's like when I was like 15, whatever, you know, making sure she was always good. Anything she needed, she could ask me for it. So sometimes I do tend to feel unappreciated, or I feel like she doesn't understand, or she's not trying to do things because she's kind of spoiled. She's been spoiled, and now it's like she has to like be a grown-up, you know what I mean? And I've really changed a lot because I've seen like, okay, I'm just enabling your bad habits, and you know, you got to kind of switch that up, especially as they get older. Peter Guns, he's back. He's the new daddy. And then Amina, I don't know if he said Amina, I think Amina's pregnant. while they were filming this. So yeah, he's pretty much about to have 10 kids. And, you know, he got to take care of some business, though, with the Creep Squad, because things is getting out of control. And DJ Self, he kind of banished Cisco from the team. Like, he took away his membership card. I'm like, bro, you're not even the CEO. You just got on the squad. How you eliminating people? But yeah, they all feeling some type of way. Actually, even Peter Guns, he was like, this dude is moving real funny, because he was supposed to go to an event. I forgot what he said, but anyways, he was supposed to get 10Ks for the event to do some kind of like walk on the stage type of thing, because you know he a star, so they get paid good money to just host events, walk, show their faces, you know, things like that. So he said when he got there, the promoter's like, oh, Cisco's my real close friend and I can't have you do this anymore. So he stopped him from getting money, which can help to support all these kids that he has. So, you know, he real tight about that, because you don't mess with Peter Guns and his money and his family. So he was there smoking a cigar like he was a Don Juan or something. Like he was really like the boss, you know, on some gangster status. I'm like, Peter. Oh, I guess this is the guy that the ladies fall for. The boss. That's what they be falling for. So anyways, so all of a sudden, well, not all of a sudden, but Cisco comes in and he sits down and he already knows what time it is. He feels like, okay, they trying to do some kind of intervention, but it ain't gonna happen. Like he already had that mentality, like, y'all got the wrong one. Y'all got me effed up because y'all ain't about to punk me up in here. So he sits down and he starts talking to DJ Self about how DJ Self shut him down. And Peter Guns is like, you know what, speaking about that and how people stopping people's money, and he goes over that same scenario we just talked about. And he said, yeah, you right, I did it. And that's because this dude over here, he pointed to Rich, talking about Rich is moving funny and messing up his moves. And when you moving with people that mess with him, then he's gonna shit on you basically. And I'm just like, and Rich was like, how he getting at Peter? Cause he mad that Rich went into the restaurant business with Peter. I guess they got some kind of partnership. So he tight about that. He's like, me and him wasn't even cool when I opened up the restaurant. Like, really? And I'm just like, yo, they acting mad petty for some grown men. Like, this is stupid. This is a bad representation of New York City. Nah, but for real though, we could kind of be petty. Like, depending on the situation, especially when it comes to money, like, yeah. We could kind of be petty and hold grudges and stuff like that. So maybe it is a good representation. But anyways, so then Peter's just like, oh, word? Like, he was getting flared up. You could see he's starting to get tight. And then Cisco just had that gangster look on his face. Like, he didn't give two F's about anything. And he was just like, well, you know what? I got these 5 stacks right here. Peter's like, I need 10. You need to give me back my money and you need to apologize. He's like, well, counted out the money. I got 5 right here. But you know what? You're looking real aggy right now. Like, you know what? You're going to have to come and get this out my pocket. If you can do that, then you can have it. So this dude was jumping over tables. They about to fight. But you know, security was on deck. They was ready. So they kind of like split them apart and they was okay. I'm just like, Peter, this is a different side view. Didn't see him get, yeah, we seen him get mad before, but I don't know. It seemed a little more aggressive. I'm like, Peter turning up. Peter turning up. He really taking the CEO of the Creep Squad position to the head. You know, he's really loving it. Jay Adrian is back in town. She went to Chicago for a little while, and she's hanging out with Kimbella. She tells Kimbella that she's trying to get into business with Snoop. See, she's saying that, but what she really want to do is try to get back into Snoop's circle so she could get her little come up. Plus, she's trying to be the girl again. She's trying to win her heart back. And I'm like, I don't know if it's a good idea. I don't know. But you can go ahead and try if you want to. Juju's hanging out with Remy Ma. Supposedly they're friends. And Remy Ma, she feels like Papoose is doing too much. You know, he's not really being a good husband right now. She wants him to be romantic, I guess, for them to have walks in the park, for them to, you know, just enjoy themselves sometimes. And right now he's working so much because he's working on her career. He's trying to do little like bars and stuff in the background, but he's not really doing too much with his music right now because she was always the better rapper. I mean, let's just be honest, and he even said that before. But he's also trying to manage the kids too. It's like he got so much on his plate. He got so many things that he's doing, and she's just like, you know, he just gotta kind of chill out, and she wants to see if she can bring somebody in. So she does talk to him later on. They had like a little picnic or whatever. And she tries to soften him up. And he's just like, what do you want? Like, what's up? He knows something's going down. So she just tells him, like, I feel like you got a lot on your plate. She looks at his phone like, oh, you got, I think she said either 200 or 2,000 unread emails. Like, and this is serious. And she's like, I think that we should get somebody, a third party, to just kind of manage me. And he's like, oh, so you firing me now? And she's like, nah, it's not even like that. But I do got a female that's going to come and she could be on a trial basis. And he like, damn, you already got the person? Like, it's like she just told him pretty much. She didn't ask him nothing. It's like, this is what I'm doing. I'm the boss and that's it. But yet she still hasn't complied with his request, which is to have a baby. But I feel like she was trying to plan it, but if you try to plan it, it may never happen just because you're looking at your career, you're looking at everything that you have to do and all that. Yandy calls Mendecees and she pretty much straight up lies to him because he's like, oh, I heard that you call my baby a break baby. And she's like, I never said that. I would never say anything like that. Have I ever said anything like that to you? And I'm like, girl, like, let him look back at the footage. Like, if he gets Love and Hip Hop in jail, he gets to watch the show. He's going to see how she was moving real funny because all the stuff that she was saying, like, oh, your baby was a mistake. He said he wished he, like, all those things, at the end of the day, the kid is going to see that. And I mean, they could see that when they get older, you know, but yet you want all the kids to be together. She act real phony sometimes. Like I try to like Yandy, but then sometimes certain things that she says is just like, it just seems real phony and fake. Like, you love these kids, you love Erica's kid, you want all the kids to be together, but yeah, you talking bad about her kid. If I was the mother, I would never want you to be around my kid. Especially, like, regardless if you're saying something when you're vexed or when you in your natural state of mind or when you're drunk or whatever, you're still saying it. And that means that that's in your heart. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it wouldn't even be a topic of discussion. So then she brings up the fact that she never sent in the papers. And that pretty much their marriage is not legal. And she did mention it to Juju and Kimbella. And he was like, why you ain't sending the papers? I'm like, I thought he knew about this. I thought he was in on it. But I guess she, being in control, was the one who didn't do it. And he's like, why you didn't do it? She was like, because she didn't want to have to pay back the government any money because her money goes into the bank. And he's just like, that's already done. That situation's already closed. I don't owe them anything else. Like, that's a dead deal. So why is it again that you're not doing it? She's just like, well, if it's a piece of paper that you're looking for or anybody else is looking for, it could be ripped up and I'm not doing it. I'm like, whoa, okay. He just hung up the phone. Like, he was annoyed and didn't want to talk about it anymore because, you know, there's people that be around listening. And he probably just don't want to get all angry and stuff like that and have his head messed up while he in jail. So he was just like, you know what, let me shut this down right now. See, that's crazy. I don't know. Maybe she needs to get herself a prenup or something. Maybe she worried that he going to leave her and take the money, or he going to cheat and take the money. Or, I mean, I understand with the whole child support thing, that could be another issue. Maybe that's the thing that she really is worried about, but she don't want to mention. Well, she did mention it earlier, but I think that that's the main thing, especially since he said that that situation is closed. Or maybe her fear is that it could pop up again, just like how all this stuff popped up. I don't know, honey. I guess she gonna give it some time after he get out of jail, maybe then, but she ain't even say all of that. Like, she just like, nah, like, we did this in front of God, and God knows that we love each other, and that's it. It's usually the guys that be saying stuff like that. Like, we don't need a piece of paper, girl. We don't need to be legal. We don't need to put this in the government system. Samantha and Erica are creating a clothing line so that they can be able to feed their kids. And I like how now, more so than episodes past, it seems like they're trying to create a brand for each and every person. I mean, I don't know why they put Samantha and Erica together. I think they should each do their own thing, but maybe it was easier for them to do it together because of capital or, you know, whatever. So I guess they real friends, because I couldn't go into business with a stranger, honey. But yeah, they doing business together for the kids. Clothing line called Trendy Boys or something like that. And they also, Erica meets with her lawyer to kind of go over all the stuff that went down with her and Yandy, like how Yandy had locked her out of the apartment. And her lawyer pretty much let her know, just like she already knew, she can't lock you out of the apartment. Mendecees himself could not lock you out of the apartment. He couldn't change the locks because your name is on the lease. So this is like a legal binding contract between both of you guys. And she was like, okay, so what she did was illegal, right? She's like, yeah. Erica seems like the hood type that doesn't want to go to the law. I'm surprised she even has a lawyer. I guess she just wants to protect herself. But she does, if anything happens, like, she's not a cop caller. She's not trying to, she was saying that if you need to protect yourself, you can go to get a order of protection or whatever. And she's like, no, she's not going to do those things. If anything, she's going to need, she's going to do what she has to do. So I'm like, Yandy will sue you. You know what I mean? Like, you need to do what you got to do and not think of being in the streets, because I feel like Yandy would sue her for the little bit of money that she has, you know, if she were to hit Yandy. But I mean, I don't know what kind of contracts they had to sign or whatever, but that's how I feel. So the lawyer also reveals to them that they really couldn't, that she couldn't find any documents that indicate that Mendecees and Yandy are actually married. So, you know, the ladies, Samantha and Erica, were just sipping that tea, like, you know. Samantha's like, you see, this is why when I call her a fraud, people be thinking I'm lying. But no, she really is a fraud. She was like, she did this big wedding, this big extravagant wedding and everything else. And look at that. They probably not even married. And Erica's like, yeah, you know, she's always running around here talking about, oh, I'm the wife, you know, showing the ring and everything else, but it's all fake. It was all for show. I mean, I don't know how I feel about this. You get this extravagant wedding, all these beautiful sponsorships. You took over like a whole couple of hours or an hour, I don't remember how long the show was, to just have something dedicated to you. And you didn't even really do it. You know, how you lied to the entire world. You know what I mean? That's kind of messed up. And she actually pushed her pride aside and she apologized to Sophie Green. Now she's trying to see if she can get Sophie Green on the label, because she's trying to be like the A&R for, I forgot the name of his thing, Gorgeous Gangster, Snoop's label. Yeah, she pushed her pride aside to get her, and she's kind of surprised Snoop by showing her that she wants her to perform and things like that. So he's like, Snoop is like, well, you're not on yet, but you're going to pretty much have to compete against other people to see if you're going to be on a label. I'm pretty sure she is. And then they talking about, oh yeah, there goes my bestie. And I'm like, J. Adrian, you doing the most right now. Like, that is not your best friend. You guys, if she was to kiss Snoop right now, J. Adrian would flip the F out. So no, that's not your bestie. Like, that's definitely using the word friend too loosely, because that's not even a friend. You talking about your best friend. Like, seriously, your best friend. Like, you gotta put emphasis in that when you say best, you know. Nah, you doing the most. You really trying to get Snoop back on some fake fraud stuff. Everybody's a fraud on this. So yeah, so when, like we were saying earlier, the last thing that pretty much happened was the whole Rich, Peter, and DJ Self meet up. And that was the part where Cisco just was like pretty much playing with him. And yeah, they ended up like about to be fighting or whatever. So I don't know. They look like they're going to be fighting for a while. I seen some scenes where he was talking to Peter again, and it looked like they was fighting again. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, y'all. But this episode was pretty good. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode down below. Guys, make sure to share and subscribe and everything else. Stay fabulous, live free, and soar limitless. I'll see you in the next one.